After our enterprises got captured by different means, including forcing us to pay taxes on the occupied territories, there was no point in carrying on with the business on those territories and following their unreasonable rules. I wouldn't even call them laws. In the same way, there wasn't any point in transferring the coal from there and paying someone else for it because it used to be ours, and now it belongs to God knows who. So in my opinion, extracting the coal there and using it is out of the question until we regain control over the enterprises and the territories. As far as I know, the Cabinet of Ministers, along with the National Security and Defense Council of Ukraine, made a series of decisions that oblige carrying out all the duties concerning that territory until the enterprise is returned and until paragraphs 1 and 2 of the Minsk agreements are fulfilled.
A couple of months ago, Mr. Novak, who is Russia's Minister of Energy, said that this situation is not profitable for them. They have their own anthracite, and this anthracite extracted on the occupied territories creates unnecessary competition, that they apparently want to turn everything back, the same thing Ukraine wants. But for some reason it's not happening. At the same time, we know that TTEK has a business in Russia, has mines there. Do you communicate with the representatives of the Russian government?
You can organize the transfer of resources via Russian territory, so if they are then sent to the countries in the Mediterranean basin, then you see some kind of business going on. We have some open and accessible sources, like this magazine called The Captain of the Port of Rostov-on-Don. So Rostov Harbor in Russia has a captain who monitors the amount of coal-carrying boats that leave the port. So here we're looking at February 2017, and there were 12 vessels. In March, 39. In April, 55. In May, 57. In June, 58, and in just 26 days of July, there were 47 boats filled with anthracite. Why is there such an increase? 12 in February and then 39 to 50 in the following months. I believe that previously unused resources and access to them appeared on the market, and it became necessary to use them all up. So apart from personal use, Russia can guarantee the coal's transfer to other markets. So it's a question for consumers in those markets, in which ways should they buy it or not buy it? With regard to the DTEK mines, there is the Obukhivska mine headquarters located in Russia's Rostov region and controlled by DTEK. Luckily for us, it extracts anthracite as opposed to other types of coal, because in the town of Shastya in Luhansk region, there is a Luhansk power station which takes the form of some sort of energy peninsula today. It doesn't have enough contact with the rest of Ukraine via lighting networks. There is one line that connects it with Ukraine, but it's not enough if we think about potential critical situations, breakdowns, and so on. The station now carries a so-called humanitarian mission. It's the only source of electric power for over 500,000 Ukrainian citizens in the occupied territories in Ukraine. It used to supply the other side, but that stopped in April after the ministry's decision. So today it's just providing for the residents of the occupied territories.
Did you send any official requests to Russia, as in, good afternoon, they used to be our companies and they have practically been stolen, let's use this word, and you're transferring this stolen coal, don't do this, or something like that?
We made requests via the State Fiscal Service of Ukraine because according to the Customs Field Cooperation Agreements, from Ukraine's side, this as a rule is the State Fiscal Service, and from the Russian side, it's the Federal Customs Service. We made requests via the State Fiscal Service of Ukraine because according to the Customs Field Cooperation Agreements, from Ukraine's side, as a rule, it's the State Fiscal Service, and from the Russian side, it's the Federal Customs Service. We made requests so that the Ukrainian institution receives explanations from its Russian counterpart as to where this coal came from and where it's going, and why such a nonsense thing as the import of anthracite from Ukraine to Russia exists at all when, first of all, the Cabinet of Ministers and the National Security and Defense Council banned any anthracite export, introducing its quotas and licensing. Secondly, it liquidated at least 2 customs points at the occupied territories near the Russian border. So this trade goes on behind Ukraine's back.
So you're waiting for a response from them?
Yes, we're waiting for a response, of course. What kind of sanctions are these otherwise?
So as far as I understand, you also talked to the Turkish government, asking them what is this coal they are receiving?
Yes, if we speak about Turkey, Turkey is one of a couple countries, along with Romania, Egypt, and some other Mediterranean basin countries, that according to reports receives these coal-filled boats departing from the Rostov harbor. So we asked the Turkish embassy in Ukraine, first of all. Secondly, we sent a letter to our Ministry of Energy and the coal industry so that they address this question together with the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. And today, as far as I know, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs is preparing a diplomatic document to send to the representatives of Ukraine in the countries concerned. We also told them the percentage of sulfur, which is high in Ukrainian anthracite, around 1.5% to 2%. So we asked them not to buy it and not to have any contact with those potential vendors, no matter how low the prices are.
So can we say that you are fully assuring us, including all the TV audience, that the coal from occupied territories does not enter Ukraine at all?
First of all, I'm assuring you that DTEK has not had control over those mines since March, and before that they operated according to Ukrainian law. We're taking the samples, carrying out analyses, and I think that the risk of this high-quality coal with a high percentage of sulfur that is found in our mines on the occupied territories entering Ukrainian territory is currently zero.